History has a habit of whispering before it screams. The moments before great wars are rarely loud. They don't feel like countdowns. They feel ordinary. In the early 1930s, life continued as usual across Europe. Cities were alive. People worked, traveled, argued about politics, and planned their futures. The idea of another world war felt unthinkable. The First World War had already shown the cost. Millions were dead. Entire generations were scarred. No one wanted to believe the world could make the same mistake twice. But history doesn't ask for permission. Beneath the surface, pressure was building. Borders were unstable. Nations were angry, humiliated, or afraid. Military alliances grew stronger, while trust grew weaker. Each crisis was treated as temporary. Each warning was explained away. No single event seemed big enough to start a global war. That's how it always begins. Wars are not born from one decision. They are assembled, slowly, quietly, piece by piece. When historians look back at the years before the Second World War, they don't see a sudden collapse. They see hesitation, delays, leaders hoping time would solve problems that required courage. Today, the world feels uncomfortably familiar. Modern conflicts are described as distant, regional, or contained. We are told they have limits, that they won't spread. Historians have heard this language before. Before 1939, powerful nations avoided direct confrontation. They supported allies instead of fighting openly. They used economic pressure instead of armies. They issued warnings instead of ultimatums. The intention was peace. The result was instability. In the modern world, conflict has evolved. Wars are no longer fought only on battlefields. They move through economies, digital networks, and energy supplies. Information itself has become a weapon. Every major power insists it wants stability. Every military buildup is described as defensive, yet global military spending continues to rise. This contradiction is not new. In the 1930s, nations believed diplomacy could delay disaster. They hoped tension would fade with time. Instead, it hardened. What worried historians most then, and now, was not one conflict, but many happening at the same time. When crises overlap, mistakes become dangerous. A miscalculation in one region can ripple outward, not because anyone planned a world war, but because systems break under pressure. The modern world has safeguards. The past did not. Nuclear deterrence, global trade, instant communication. But safeguards are not guarantees. Before World War II, no nation publicly declared it wanted a global war. It still happened. Today, serious analysts are careful with their words. They don't predict another world war. They study the warning signs. History is not repeating itself exactly, but it is echoing. The past does not tell us what will happen next. It shows us what happens when warning signs are ignored. And perhaps the most unsettling lesson of all is this: the world has stood on the edge before, and most people didn't realize it until they were already falling.